A walk round the garden, July 20th, 2020. This is the top border. Still some colour. Cardoons. Phormium, not flowered this year. Rothskia. There's the Agapanthus just beginning to bud up. And a sea of Nigella. Walking down the garden to where the plant sales table was. This is a conifer. It's recovering remarkably well actually, but it gets attacked by field voles who chew the bark. Some nice phlox here. It's a bit overgrown really. Some nice allium heads. Might be Christophii, not quite sure. There's Thalictrum aquilegifolium. Japanese anemones. Epimediums. Hellebores going over. There's your lovely apple tree, Mum, still standing. Right, so now we're walking down to have a look at your Bramley apple tree, which is absolutely covered in apples this year. Right, walking through to the patio at the back of the house. It's in the shade at the moment, but the sun comes round later on. It's a nice urn that I planted up. I grew the petunias myself. Quite unusual to be able to grow a trailing petunia actually, and they performed very well. Still some flowers on the wisteria. Here's the scree garden that was, now a sea of pots. I bought my aeoniums over from my house. They're growing quite well now. Nice cannas. Hopefully they'll flower. Nice dark blue Agapanthus. Right then, this is the border outside the study window. Quite colourful. Still quite a lot of bare earth where I got rid of the nettles, the ivy, the thistles. I've still got more things to put in there. Right, walking down into the bottom garden. See, we've taken all the suckers out of the holly so you can see right through it now. Going to walk down into the paddock garden. Past the variegated phormium, which has had flower buds on it. The bees love those. And there's your rose there. Look, we've managed to get it through the metal contraption. Chopped it back and it's shooting lovely. Dad's been pruning back the weeping willow thing. Did a good job of that. The damp garden. There's a bit of colour there. I mow through there every time I mow the grass. I mow a path through there so you can actually walk through the middle of it now. Right, panning round to the left. There's my beehives. Bees flying well today because they're in the sunshine. See your ricinus in front of the hives. There's all bee plants planted there too, although they don't seem very interested in it. Some lovely phlox there, looking flower. This is a big your shrub clematis. That was a picture when it was out. Walking down towards the greenhouses. I've planted this border up with lots of dahlias that I got in the sale at the garden centre. They're all budding up nicely, but they're not in flower yet. And here's a rescued border outside your shed. And you can actually walk right round the border now like you used to be able to. I've taken out all the brambles. Fantastic, I'm really pleased with that. Right, we're going to have a look in the greenhouse. I've been taking cuttings of plants just because I can't stop myself. Right, into the greenhouse. I wish you could smell in here, it smells lovely. Tomatoes. We've got 5 different varieties of tomatoes in here. Doing quite nicely. From little sun gold to black opal to fandango, which is a lovely big tomato. Turning around to the other side, cucumber's doing well. Had 1 cucumber from there, but there's plenty more to come on. All peppers down the bottom. Right, we've come out of the greenhouse now, going towards the fruit cage. We've got some apples on your cordon apples, so that's nice. I think they need a bit of trimming actually. Right, into the fruit cage, which I'm afraid is a cabbage cage this year because there's not an awful lot of fruit in here. Gooseberry sawflies saw off all the gooseberries. We got a row of broad beans down there. Runner beans here. An array of cabbages. Cabbages sprouting, broccoli, cauliflowers. And then down here I had overstocked the tomatoes, so I put them all in. So we're going to have lots of tomatoes. And then we've got squashes, sweet corn, courgettes. Still needs a bit of work.